specifically talk about a rookie season. And that brings us to Caitlin Clark, because as we know, I think it's safe to say that, with the unfortunate injury to Angel Reese, who you and I have spoken about, this race really coming down to Caitlin and Angel for Rookie of the Year, obviously with Angel's unfortunate wrist injury taking her out of the remainder of the season. I think it's safe to say that Rookie of the Year is Caitlin Clark's award, and it'd be surprising if it went to anybody else. I think that's safe to say. We would be surprised if that award went to anyone else, because she and Angel were the front runners for it. She dropped a career high 35 points against the Wings on Sunday. I actually was able to tune in and catch that game, so that was very cool to see. And set the WNBA rookie single scoring record, breaking the one that was set in 2006. She now has 761 points in 39 games. And she had this to say about her going ahead and breaking that record. She said, quote, "It comes full circle for sure. I remember I got my picture with," and this is in terms to who previously had the record, and that is Simone Augustus. She set that in 2006. Like I said, 744 points in 34 games. Caitlin has 761 points in 39 games. And she had this to say about breaking her record. "It comes full circle for sure. I remember I got my picture with her on my dad's little phone. I think maybe it was a BlackBerry back in the day." Oh my God, that just made me feel old, but okay, whatever.
I definitely had one.
I had one in high school. Oh my God.
She didn't have to do that to us. She didn't have to do that.
His little phone. Damn, Caitlin, we get it. You're young. I vividly remember it. I was always a fan of her game and the way she could shoot the ball. I mean, when we talk about Caitlin's season in comparison to some of the other incredible rookie seasons we had, let's just run through some of these numbers real quick. Candace Parker, who I love, I've already said she's my GOAT. 18.5 points per game, 9.5 rebounds per game. She won the MVP and the Rookie of the Year in the same season. The only player to ever do that, by the way.
One.
We have Tamika Catching. She had 18.6 points per game, 8.6 rebounds per game. She led the Fever to the first playoff appearance. She recorded 9.2 win shares, most ever by a rookie. Maya Moore, 13.2 points per game, 4.6 rebounds per game, and she helped the Lynx to the first of 4 championships in her rookie season. So those are the 3 OGs who are no longer currently playing, who not only helped their teams win championships, but have also set records individually outside of having historic rookie seasons. So knowing all of that, where does her rookie season stack up against the other rookie seasons, specifically those 3 women that I just mentioned, because they also had other historic things happen during their rookie years?
Yeah.
Look, man, before they continue, they're trying, well, she's trying to make it seem as if the Rookie of the Year race wasn't already over until Angel got hurt. So Angel getting hurt makes it Caitlin's now. Absolutely not. Caitlin already had this in the bag a long time ago. I'm just being honest here. There was no shot of Angel Reese ever winning Rookie of the Year. Stop it. Please stop.
This one's hard for me at the current moment in the season because we have not seen the postseason play. We know that the Fever have made it, which is
right,
a feat in itself that would also go on the list of accomplishments for Caitlin Clark and her team, right? So it's hard for me to say, like, she would rank this and this without having that piece, right? We need to see what happens in this postseason play because all of these rookie years have that in there, right?
Have postseason success, right?
Yes, they have that in there. So it's really hard. I will say this, Candace Parker's number 1, and that is on that. I mean, to be an MVP and Rookie of the Year in the same season, everything that she accomplished, and a lot of people don't, I'm not saying they don't remember this, but one of the things is her impact on the league that she brought. People talk a lot about this rookie class, and they did phenomenal things. But I remember when Candace came in, how she just catapulted the league to new levels. She was almost doing it before, I mean, she was doing it before, like NIL and all of those things were happening. She had a phenomenal college career and people followed her over, and she impacted that league in ways that nobody did. So that was definitely in there too. And she has to be number one.
I mean, obviously, playing devil's advocate here, because people are going to be mad and say, well, you know what he said? Obviously, Caitlin Clark did not win a championship. Candace Parker did. NIL did not exist when Candace Parker was in college. It exists with Caitlin Clark being in college. Would you say, though, that Caitlin, even without winning a championship and with NIL, has had an impact on the W women's basketball as a whole, specifically women's collegiate basketball? Also, without having all those things, obviously viewership has skyrocketed. This was the most watched draft, I think, that we've ever had in the W, or at least in recent years, if I can remember correctly. The Fever national games, more than they've seen in a very long time. There have been other jumps that I won't say are solely specifically about Caitlin, but I think that it's safe to say she was a major catalyst in a lot of the interest, or the sudden interest, specifically this particular season in WNBA, when it comes to new fans or fans following her from her collegiate career. Would you say that?
She has definitely been a catalyst, and she has impacted this game in ways that we can't even measure. But I would also say that people forget about the piece that we had a whole rookie class that was doing that.
Correct.
The rookie class was impacting it in ways. So I don't know. You can't just attribute the rise in the W or the changes in the W to Caitlin Clark. You can't. And
you absolutely can. You absolutely can. There's not one rookie on that board. I don't know what you're talking about. Caitlin Clark does more for the WNBA in this league combined more than anybody on that chart. Combined. Caitlin Clark is the biggest ticket in the W. Doesn't matter rookie or not. She's the biggest ticket in the WNBA. Forget rookies. She's bigger than half the NBA players. She's in talks with LeBron, Steph Curry. She's one of the GOATs, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. She's sitting here trying to make it seem like, oh, well, it's not just Caitlin Clark who's changing league, and she's making it seem like Candace Parker had a bigger impact on the league, which is not the case at all. There is no one in the league's history who has done or will continue to do what Caitlin Clark is doing right now. There's no way. You could talk about numbers, sales, hot dog sales, merchandise, whatever you want to talk about. Viewership, TV ratings, Instagram ratings, analytics. Caitlin Clark has surpassed everything that you're about to say. Everything. No disrespect to Candace Parker. You're a hell of a player, but you did not have a more of an impact than what Caitlin Clark has had. No way. No way. And I don't know if anybody will ever have this type of impact. Caitlin Clark has changed the W. She has changed this league. And it's just getting started if you guys don't mess it up. Now, let me go back and listen real quick.
Obviously, playing devil's advocate, Candace Parker did with Caitlin Clark without winning a championship. Well, as a leadership has skyrocketed. There were years, if I can remember, and there have been about Caitlin, but I think that it's safe to say she was a major this particular year. Would you say that?
She has definitely been a catalyst, and she has impacted this game in ways that we can't even measure. But I would also say that people forget about the piece that we had a whole rookie class that was doing that.
Correct.
The rookie class was impacting it in ways. So I don't know. You can't just attribute the rise in the W or the changes in the W to Caitlin Clark. You can't.
That's crazy.
In my opinion.
No, of course. But would you say she was a major... Like, if you had to give out pieces of a pizza pie, would she get like half the pie and then the rest of the half is split up between everybody else? Like,
she has had major impact. She has had major impact, but I would say Candace's impact when she was a rookie was huge as well. I mean, incredible.
We're talking.
If it was that big, we would be talking about it, right? Nobody was talking about it. We would have all been watching by now. Nobody's watching. Everybody's watching now because of Caitlin Clark. I know you want to defend Candace, and that's fine. She didn't have the impact Caitlin Clark has. Stop lying to yourself, please. She did not have the impact Caitlin Clark has had on this game. Stop it.
MVP and Rookie of the Year in the same. That's a huge accomplishment because not only are you Rookie of the Year, but you're overperforming women who have been in the league longer than you. So that in itself is just incredible. So
Right.
let's make this more specific then. Let's take the postseason out of it because it hasn't happened yet. We don't have a crystal ball. Well, it's a two-parter then. First part, would you say it is the most impressive regular season rookie year out of all of the names that we just mentioned before we even start talking about awards and postseason success? If we just look at statistics line by line, would you say that hers has been the most impressive regular season rookie debut?
I would put her in the top 3.
Okay, so what's your order look like?
My order looks like Candace Parker, Tamika Catchings, and then her.
Okay.
Why? If we're just doing regular season, and that's
just regular season right now.
And I'm talking about, I mean, when you think about the impact of people in their rookie season, Maya Moore, Asia Wilson, Brianna Stewart, Elena Deladon, like when you think about everything that they've done, it's not a slight to them by any sense of the word, but with the impact that she's had, her stat lines, everything that she's accomplished this year and will continue to accomplish in this postseason, I do pick the Fever scary right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm excited to see them play in this postseason, but I would definitely put her in that top 3. For if we're just looking at stats and impact, taking any personal feeling out of it on what has impacted me the most as a viewer and as a former player, I would say that.
Okay. So for me, I'm going to lead with bias for the first part for my order. I'm going to go Candace Parker number 1.
Yeah. She
Candace
was my Parker too. Yeah.
No, I'm saying I'm just saying my list as well.
I just wanted to make sure. Okay.
I'm going biased. This has no bearing on stats or anything like that. Candace Parker for me, outside of the MVP Rookie of the Year thing, I mean, she was my introduction to women's basketball, the WNBA. I just think that it was an insane accomplishment. Not only what she did in her regular season debut, what she was able to do in terms of winning awards and things like that. Like, again, like I say, to be a rookie and to win MVP over women who have been in a league longer than you is absolutely insane. I think it's fair to say that Caitlin's not going to be winning MVP. I think it's fair.
Was Asia Wilson in the league when Candace Parker was in the league? Was she at her best? Would Candace win MVP right now with Asia in the league? And Caitlin Clark is pretty close to winning MVP, just so you guys don't, like, just so you know. I know how odds work, and odds are in Caitlin Clark's favor more than you guys think.
Fair to say she's going to be winning Rookie of the Year.
No disrespect to Asia. She's probably going to win it, but I'm just letting you know. It's not that far off.
With that said, I'm going to go Clark number 2, and I'll say why. I think that she's broken multiple records in her first rookie season. I think it's extremely impressive that this is the first playoff appearance for the Fever in 2016. I think they've been really actively working towards this with all of their draft picks and their development, and I think that maybe this was the missing piece that they looked for. Again, I think that their ladder, or their ceiling rather, is so high. I think they have a long way to climb. I don't think they're going to be hoisting a trophy this season, but I think that to get to this point, a point that they've been actively kind of searching for such a long time, is a celebration in itself. I mean, she's the assist queen right now. When we talk about the WNBA, she broke that record, single season record. I just think that, especially with how her season began, and just the tumultuous kind of conversations that have surrounded her, the lack of a break that all the rookies experience, the rookies who were able to see the entire season or most of it. Obviously, we had some injuries very early on, very unfortunate injuries. But, I mean, Caitlin's, outside of that break, hasn't really had much of a break, and that's a lot as a rookie. We've had that conversation on the show. So I'm going to put her at 2, but I'm going to go Maya Moore at 3. For me personally, this is no knock to Tamika. I think what she did for the Fever initially, huge accomplishment. But I mean, we're talking about leading your team to a championship, the first of 4. That's a huge thing. The only reason I'm not putting her at 2 is because if I go stat-wise, regular season stats, Caitlin has her beat in that conversation. Well, again, this is hard because the postseason hasn't happened yet. Yeah. If this was a post conversation, postseason, that order might change. But if we're just gonna go regular season with the anticipation of the postseason, I'm gonna go Candace Parker, Caitlin Clark, Maya Moore. That's going to be my order right now. Ask me again after the postseason.
So one's taking Candace Parker, the other one's taking Candace Parker, one's taking Clark at 3, one's taking Clark at 2. Me personally, I'm going to tell you right now, Clark is 1-1. She's had the most impact on this league by far, and it's not even close. It literally is not even close. For them to say that Candace Parker's maybe at the time, but if you put them both in the same rookie class right now, and we're going to talk about impact, Caitlin Clark's impact is by far the best this league has ever seen, bro. Now, stats, yes, maybe she averaged more stats, whatever the case. The season's not even over. Caitlin Clark, with what she's dealt with the defensive presence that's thrown at her every single game, especially at the beginning of the season, Caitlin Clark's impact is more impressive to me. We didn't watch Candace Parker like that. We did, but not how we're tuned in with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark has brought real viewership, real eyeballs to the league, breaking records, breaking viewership. Ticket sales have gone up. The price of tickets. So you guys got to think about it as a business. Again, I'm going to keep on saying that. There's nobody in the league who has a better golden ticket than Caitlin Clark. There's nobody. She is the cash cow. So for me, I'm going to take Caitlin on this, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to agree with me. Caitlin Clark, to me, she like she stated to Candace Parker. Caitlin Clark, to me, is definitely my introduction to really locking in on the WNBA and really tuning in. I've watched it before. I've studied it. I've betted on it a lot. But I know more about the WNBA now than I ever have. And I can honestly say it's because Caitlin Clark. Like, honestly. Like, going from watching a Fever game to watching any other game, half the time it's boring, just to be honest. You know, I get through it, but that's why you don't see me live a lot unless it's Indiana Fever, because they play such exciting basketball. The fans are into it. The game's exciting. And that's just the hottest thing to talk about right now. So, and then you watch a girl, not only is she killing it all outside of the game for the business, packing out arenas, doesn't matter what city she's going in, she's also killing you guys on the court. How is she leading the league in assists as a rookie with the Indiana Fever? How? And they've won 7 more games than they did last year, and their team's in the playoffs, and every team knows how they have to guard Caitlin Clark, and they have to pay attention. They have to scheme, and they have to trap and double team and blitz, because that's how much of a threat Caitlin Clark is. She should have been on that Olympic team, which is, you guys know you didn't want to have that on her resume. Because if you did, that would just solidify everything. So I should already know. Well, first off, she has a Black Joy shirt on, which I just noticed. I'm not sure why she has that shirt on, knowing that we're about to talk about Caitlin Clark. It's just like little things that I start to notice with a lot of these women. They really, really, really don't want to see Caitlin Clark be the face of this league. And the truth is, she already is. That's the truth. So you guys could deny this and deny that and talk about other players all you want. And they did okay. They mentioned Caitlin Clark. You know, Caitlin Clark is this, Caitlin Clark is that. Yeah, they gave her flowers. But don't sugarcoat it. Don't do that. Look, man, besides that, it's your boy C. O'Connor. I appreciate you guys. Welcome to the channel. I will be back with more content. Until then, make sure you guys sub up, drop a like, drop a comment, and I'll get back to you guys on another one. I'm out.